So you tell me, is this going to go well or is this going to crash and burn? United Wholesale Mortgage, this is a giant company making loans for home loans pretty much, and you can't go directly to them. You have to go through a mortgage broker, a mortgage lender. Well, they've announced a program which now allows you to buy a home with 0% down. Zero. That means out of pocket, you're paying for closing costs and you get keys to a home. What do you think is going to happen? Do you think that there's going to be a whole bunch of people saying, hey, great, I can now finally get into home ownership when interest rates are high, when prices are even higher, and they're finally able to get keys to a home and stop renting? Are they going to take advantage of this opportunity, or are they going to say no? Now, what about the people who take this loan out, okay? Are they going to give up when the prices fall 2-3%? Because they have no skin in the game. They just have closing costs. Is this going to cause any problems? Before we get started, let me just tell you what you need to qualify for one of these mortgages in case you're considering doing this. So first of all, you have to have a median household income for the area of 80% of the median household income, right? You cannot be rich. You cannot be making tons of money. You have to be at 80% or less than your median income for the area that you're buying the home in. Next is, you don't get your down payment like for free. You get a second mortgage, and the article doesn't go into the repayment terms. It doesn't say if you have to make payments on this mortgage, but I'm pretty sure you do, okay? So some of these down payment assistance programs, which is kind of how it's structured, they actually don't require any repayment until you sell the home, or you refinance, or you pay off the first mortgage. So this one I think is a little bit different, where you do have payments, but don't quote me on that. It's just what it seems to be. So now let me ask you, is this a good idea to make home ownership so easy that you can just go in and get keys to a home? Is this going to cause troubles in the future? So let me give you an example that happened, 15 years ago. There was a lot of people who got into mortgages. They weren't able to necessarily afford them in the first place, but they got them because the lending guidelines were pretty loose back then. And then as soon as prices fell 5%, 10%, the people that got the mortgages on near 100% loan to value, they gave up. They stopped paying the mortgages. It's a really interesting thing, because if they just would have held on, they would have made so much money by now. And it's 15 years. I know it's a long time to wait and a long time to make payments for, but everything kind of has kept going up and up and up. So what are these people going to do that are getting into home ownership with $0 out of pocket, except for closing costs? That is an expense, but you can get up to 3 or 6% of your closing costs paid by the seller. So are there opportunities for you to get into home ownership without spending a penny out of your pocket? The answer is yes, there is an opportunity like this. It's probably not going to be your dream home. It's probably not going to be the dream location, but it's a way to get into home ownership. And I do think there are opportunities out there if you're young enough to survive any kind of markets up and down cycles. So if you get into one of these loans and you just stick in that house, raise your family, 15, 20 years later, there's pretty much zero chance you're going to lose. You're going to win. You're going to make money on that kind of scenario. The hardest part, though, is not having any skin in the game and not giving up when times get tough, but buckling down. And let's just say, you get your hours get cut and you have less money. You can't make the mortgage payment. Listen, if you own the home, I just recommend figure it out. Okay, go get a second job, go get a part-time second job. I don't know, figure it out. Just go and make the payments, because in the long run, it will work out. But I know a lot of people are not like that. They're very emotional when it comes to the finances, when it comes to your mortgage payment. So what they end up doing is they end up giving up, and they don't get the second job. They just poor victim mentality, saying, oh no, why is this happening to me? Why did I buy this house? I hate this house, and so on. Because whatever payment you're getting into is going to go up. I just did a video that talked about a lady regretting her home buying decision because taxes went up and insurance went up, and it went $100 more a month. I mean, that's ridiculous. It's only $100. Like, figure it out, girl. So that might happen. If you're currently renting, and this is not financial advice, but if you're currently renting, figure this out. Buy a house and make sure you live long enough to keep paying down on that loan, and you do everything possible to make sure you continue being in good standing with that loan, because it's just a matter of time before interest rates drop. You can refinance, lower your payment dramatically, and in the meantime, you got a place to live and you're not making landlords like me rich.